Hello and welcome to video number 5 of this UiPath RPA project. We have total 12 videos in this UiPath RPA project. And if you want to become a UiPath RPA developer and you have not yet started, in this project we are covering every basics and this will be a right playlist for you. And the link of this entire playlist is available in the description of this video. Please go to the description and watch all the videos of this project. Subscribe to this channel for more videos on UiPath and other automation technology. In this particular video, what we are going to do is that we are going to start working on UiPath Performer. We are going to create a dummy HTML form that we will use for data entry. And then we will complete all the development steps also for a UiPath data entry workflow. So we have completed the dispatcher. We have completed that how can we go to the car branding website and go to each brand. After going to each brand, we step number 2, go to each car and then extract required details from each car is also done. Add extracted data to orchestrator queue is also done, and now we will set up the UiPath RE framework. To set up the UiPath RE framework, I will do for both the projects together. So we will see set up RE framework in some time. Now let's start working on the performer workflows. That the first thing is that we have to do the data entry. So what we will do is that we will create the page ourselves, a sample or a example page for, and then we will do the data entry there in the first workflow. Second workflow, we will generate the HTML code for each of the car data that we have just added to the queue few minutes back, and then we will create a PDF browser for that car. In the end, we will send email using Microsoft Graph API, and then we will set up the RE framework for this also. So for performer, we will create another separate project folder, and there are different practices. Few people, if the dispatcher is very small, so let's say if we will get data in email and we just have to download, you can write the entire code into one project, and you can add the dispatcher file in it itself, right? So there are different approaches, but whenever you have long steps or multiple steps to perform in dispatcher, let's say you have to go to different websites, let's say you have to go to different pages on a website, you have to extract the information, then you have to prepare the information, perform some validation task, and then finally you consider that is the final data to perform other actions. That time mostly people will create separate dispatcher and performer, right? So same approach we are taking. We are considering that we will be working in a big project, and then different steps that we have just seen in the previous part of this video, that multiple steps we will take and then get the data ready for you. So this I want to select our same folder here, car project dispatcher. Let's create new folder. Okay, and then select this folder. Previous project is into this one. I will rename the other folder in some time, and then language will be Windows compatibility. Create it. Let's open main workflow. Here also we will do same thing, that we will not be using main, we will use the main sequence only in end, right? And another workflow. So the first part is that we need a web page. So what I am going to do as a shortcut, that I will use chat GPT here. Take any image, take this image for example. I will copy link address, copy the image address rather, save image, copy image address. Okay, let me try to open this. Yes, I think that is enough for us. Second thing is, what I will do is I will be using chat GPT to generate some sample code. I can do. Seven to 10, third radio button, 10 to 15, fourth radio button. So here is the description about the web page that we want to use. So you can have a look on it. I will just copy, go to chat GPT, and I will paste this prompt. And let's generate the HTML code. So this is how you can generate the HTML code or any other code using chat GPT. Copy this. I am not sure if it is completed. It is completed. Copy the code. Here I will create notepad. I will just write data entry form. Open it, paste the code, file, save as .html. Now let's try and see if it is, how is it looking. So it is coming perfectly fine. So I think, let's correct this. Just override the entire code. Let's see it now. It is come better. I can do the modification now. So let's see what class they are using in image. class banner. Where is the class banner? Width I will take 70%. Let me refresh it. It's better now. So this is our sample page, and let's change the background color. This part is, as I don't want to use any other web page for data entry, so I am using this sample code, this color better. So copy this code. So you can make it more beautiful, like mentioning that you need this in single line and you need this in tabular format. But for practice purpose, it is fine, right? So let's start. Let's take this as example, right? So what we will do now is just close this. We will be using this page to do our data entry, and that is our first performer workflow. So let's say now data is available in the queue. Performer will trigger from orchestrator. How to create triggers in orchestrator, that is a different topic covered in a different video. I will go and I will add a new workflow now. Name of this workflow will be save. Okay, so data entry, if you want you can try recording this time. And to pause the recording, you have to click here, or we can use F2. Okay, so let's start doing recording. Record steps. So what we will do is, so now this is the first thing that it is asking, that extension, the Chrome extension we have to add, UiPath extension we have to add in Chrome to access Chrome. Right now it is asking that these are the file on the local, right? You can read the message. So this file is saved in the local. So to access this file we have to allow a permission. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to just cancel it. For now we have to open Chrome, go to extensions, manage extension. Here is the UiPath extension. Go to details, how to enable UiPath extension in Chrome. So allow access to files, allow access to file URLs. This we have to enable. Now we have to close entire Chrome and start once again. Now when we will go and start recording, it will not stop us. Right? We will click here, just taking the target information. It understood that it is a type into element, so it is asking to type us something. For now, you can just write something. TEST test, TITLE. Confirm. Next. Select any item. So we will select this item for now. Enter. Now third element. So we will click on this, and this is again a plain text, so test, just write anything, confirm. Now we will just pause the recording, F2, and scroll down our page. Now here we have to select any radio button, but later we will set it, and then finally we have to select a rating. So I will select item, hit enter. Right, again I will go function F2 or F2. So it is done. So now what we will do is we will just click on save the recording. So recording is saved. Now we have to verify each part. So it has automatically taken the URL, and first of all we will check selector for this. Go in properties. This you do for all selectors. Empty field is like it will remove existing value. Single line, yes, it will write in single line. If you will select multi-line, it will write in multi-line also. Click before typing. So it is always good to click any element before typing so that that element will get active. If you want, you can do none or double. Right, so all of these things you can do. Now check selector. So go to target. So selector that is generated, you can just open it. ID is car title input, so it is stable. Same way, come here and check selector. Properties, stick selector, select. But now this value we have to pass, right? This is using variables, right? And this value also will be coming into some variable. Selector wise it looks fine, right? You have already seen a long lesson like how to modify selector, how to test selector, so I will not take much time here. We just have to change these values with variables, right? These are the hard-coded values we have just used while creating the recording. So that is the part here to focus, right? That how will you, I will minimize all of these actions, and whenever we will work for one, we will use only that. Okay, so let's start working for first title. All of this value that you see right now will come from where? These values will be coming from this queue, orchestrator queue, right? So here is our queue. 16 items are remaining. No. So when we will run this in RE framework, get transaction activity, all of this data will come. But for now, only for testing, we have to pass few hard-coded values, right? So what we will do is create all the variables, and this, as we will receive this information from get transaction item workflow that will be explained in the later part. So we will need all the arguments, input arguments. So let's create in. In the previous one, you remember that we have first gone to the website, extracted the data, taken the data, and created similar arguments also. Similar names will be visible here because the information or the name of the data is same. So here we will take the data from queue and then we will do rest other work. There it was a different direction. We have taken the data, extracted the data, and then we have submitted the data. Here we will take the data, type the data, use the data for PDF, like that we will do. So data should flow starting from here, right? So this all data will come. I am repeating it again from orchestrator queue item. If you want to take the data directly here from the queue, that also you can do using get queue items activity. So for testing, what we will do is we can just first run this in our queue item, and then we will delete that workflow in the later part. So I will go to main. Temporarily, I will add one more workflow file, that is workflow get queue items. Here queue items. Where is my, remember that we have to delete this. Right now we will just perform testing, and this data will later come from the RE framework, as I have explained third time now. And as I told that why I explain same thing repeatedly, so that because I understand all of you are in learning stage, so you should not be confused at any step. All right, so now we have to give a output name to our queue. Go to properties, go here, properties, control K. So my test queue. Now what we have to do is for each my test queue. So it will, UiPath will automatically understand the type of this collection. This is a collection. So let me show you. Go to variables. My test queue. It is data type is collection.generic.enumerable, and item type is queue item. So UiPath will understand and create the same kind of object. So if you will click here, you will see item for this collection, because if you understand for loop from any programming languages, for loop we need collection and item both, right? So this is our item. So what we have to do is, let's try to use right line activity. So to get the data, current item dot, so each of the queue item, so this is a queue item right now, will have a one. So queue item is the one line of the queue, right? One data of the queue, one data set of the queue. Dot specific content. In the specific content, you have to give a column name. And you remember few minutes back we have created the queue, so we fairly remember there was something called title, correct? And then in the end we have to use toString. Let's try and check if it is able to fetch the data. And I want to go for maximum. I will just go and refresh. Yeah, so new items are added. This time let's view details. So title and everything is coming without workflow. And now here we are going to put a filter that we need only new. All right. Rest everything will remain same. Total items we are writing. So okay, and now we just already written all this code. So I will save. So this my queue is coming from get queue item activities output. You have already seen this part, right? Sometime back. This is my queue, all the collection of all the queue items with new status, and here is our. So in this we are taking this object queue item type, current queue item. From the current queue item specific content, we are taking our title. Okay, let's check the result. It's completed. So you can see title of each car has come. So let me just show you what has come. So first one will come down. So view details. The Toyota Urban Cruiser. Go to output. Come down. Toyota Urban Cruiser. Or maybe we have only else Tata Car EV. So all of this information has come, right? Now, similarly, what we can do is we can write all the information. So I am repeating it again that this information we are fetching only for the development purpose. In real time, when we will take this project into RE framework, this data will come from get transaction state of RE framework that we will see. But for now, let's assign this data. And if you want, you can skip this part, this complete workflow. What you can do is you can directly hard code the values. So this workflow you have seen, right? Data entry. Directly hard code values here, right? And assign to all of these arguments once you create the argument, right? So if you want, you can just get the real-time values from queue. Anything you can do. I hope you understood my point. So I will create an argument. So I will just try to explain with two information. So I will go here. I will open that UI. So in data entry, we already have one input argument, which means that this flow is expecting some value, and that value can be here, right, on title. So we are getting that value from queue. What you can do is you can create a variable here instead of write line, or maybe you can just keep this write line for your reference. So let's create two variables. I will go for that one where we don't need any. Let's keep our write line first of all for reference, so that we know that yes, our workflow is perfectly fine. If you want, you can use log message also. So my test queue dot my test queue is the collection. Our item is current. So when we would come here, properties item name is the current queue item dot get specific content TITLE. What is next? Not to string. The other part, let's take I will just choose a field which is the easy field, right? Drop down and all we have to write some logic. I will take engine horsepower. So what is the field in orchestrator for engine power? It is only power. So what we will do is I will take this in. I will create two variables. Or let's create assign multiple. Okay, now I will create first variable that is data. Why I am adding data? ATL because I wanted to keep some variation. That this is not the dispatcher, this is the performer. When you will have good practice and you will understand, you can directly create variables. So this data is coming. So from orchestrator, that is why I have added data word in beginning. Value we can just do same value will come here. We want to add one more. We have to add one more variable because we have to send this data to the next workflow. Data engine power. So current item means current row, for example, current queue item dot specific content. Here we have to write UOWER, same label that was in orchestrator, or to string. Right. So now we are getting data here from queue, and let's go project one data entry and create one more argument, input argument, because this data will come in car png power. Correct. So this is how this data can come from queue. But for fast development, I will tell you another trick. You don't have to test everything. You have to just code values. Give me some few minutes, you will understand it. So here, the title will come. So instead of this test title, what I will do is in car title. Here, engine. So I will use in car engine power. Save. Only two, just for our testing that how can we get and use data, even if we are not using RE framework, right? So you can use get queue item activities and map the data like this. If you are joining video from here, go 10 to 15 minutes back. What I will do is I will pass these two values to the other workflow for typing. Invoke. We already know in UiPath how to pass values to other file using UiPath invoke workflow activity. Two items. So it already take the arguments. We just have to map these arguments. So where is our data here? Data, car title, and data, engine power. Save. Save. Now this is our starting point, right? First we will get the item and then data entry will happen. So if you want to test, we can run our flow from here. Right, I will just check if any is the status of these work items. Put in the queue. Yeah, so we still have items available. Just check the status of the queue. Yes, so we already have 16 items available because we have not set the transaction status. Otherwise, we can change the. So we will see like how can we change the transaction status. First, let me just run this for few items. So here, how can we run for limited items in for loop? That go to for loop, go here, properties, max iterations. You can just enter a numerical value. I want to run for only 5. Okay, and then you can use this activity this side. So here what we will do is, in browser you will get this option, or in the application you will get this option. In close, you want to close, you can say never, and in open, let's open it if not open. And now come this side, and we have already set maximum count in the for loop to 5. So I will just save, and now I will run this file. Let's see if it is taking the data from queue and typing in the web page or not. It is open, it is reading the data. There is some, okay, customer ratings. We have taken only 2 variables. You remember, car title and engine power. So that is why there is no change into price and customer rating. So when we will configure it in RE framework, that time we will get those variables also.